we have the current stock market update for SoFi Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker SOFI. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comment section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So what we're looking at here is the 4-hour price chart. I do think, previously where we're sort of drilling in a bit, looking at some shorter term time frames. There were some reasons for that. The goal of that type of time frame, generally, in my view, the way I trade the market is to sort of establish whether or not a bottom is forming or a top is forming. So that was the goal with that, with the prior videos and looking at those shorter term time frames. However, now that we've seen some price movement here to the top side, I do think that it makes more sense to pull out a bit further and to try to get a broader view of what exactly is going on here. So first, we'll see if we need to adjust any of these price levels. Currently, this price high near term is coming in at 2065, so that is a slight difference here. At these upper regions, overall, the trading day today has been negative. We are seeing some downside price movements. This is a little bit concerning because, we're not really seeing much follow through here from that 1049 resistance break. And, in many cases with a situation like that, when you're dealing with a longer term resistance level like that, especially a stock that's often shorted, you will start to see some follow through there because there will be short positions that are parked in that area. So, we're not really seeing that here. And the follow through has been weak, in my opinion. I mean, I don't think that this is much of an upside price movement here if we're only looking at 1065 relative to 1049. So there really isn't much difference there. For the moment, SoFi's year-to-date gains are coming in at 7.7%, less than a third of what is being seen in the broader market. So, we do need to sort of take a broader step here outward and take a broader view because what I think people need to understand with this stock is that we're really just sort of trading right now. The share price is trading at 1041. So, this is below that 1049 high. And, really all this has done here with all this upside price movement, a lot of people are getting excited about this upside price movement. All this has really done is put the stock back where it was at the end of 2023. So there's been a substantial amount of downside here that has had to be weathered in this process. And if we go back a little bit further here, because, the next upside target at this point would be that 1170 resistance level from July 2023. So I just think people need to understand here that, even if we get back to that level, and we do have an earnings report coming up, even if we look at this in the most bullish possible light and we say that, there's a stellar earnings performance and everybody starts buying this stock, we start to see share prices move back into 1170. All that has really done here is put share prices back where they were in July of 2023. I mean, that's a huge amount of time that has been lost in the process. And then that says nothing of the fact that, these declines from 1170 generated losses of more than 48.64%. It's a little bit above that area. If we extend this price move to the lows that we're seeing just in August of this year. So this is not ancient history. This is a very short time ago. So this is a lot of price movement to the downside. So it's just really strange to me that people can be as confident as they are about the outlook for this stock. Because it's just been a tremendous underperformer, and just a huge amount of time has been wasted for people that are sort of maintaining allegiance to these positions. I mean, that's never the right way to trade the market. It really isn't. You should be willing to buy or sell any stock at any time. The market is not your friend. The market is trying to take your money. So you should be willing to look at a stock in both directions at all times. So, currently, we're still trading lower on a YTD basis, and the lack of follow through here after this 1049 break is concerning. That doesn't necessarily mean that I think that this run is over. I do think that you need to see a bit more of a downside retracement here. And there were some comments in the comment section talking about how, we're just going to blow through these resistance levels because there isn't much resistance at 1170. I do need to sort of point that out here as well, because that was a really idiotic comment. The idea that there's no resistance in this area because there's not a lot of price action here is completely off base. It couldn't be more incorrect. When you start to see a rejection point like this, just as a general rule, I mean, I do have to sort of do some chart analysis 101 here because it's clear that some people are not understanding what's going on. When you see share prices rejected like this, what that tells you is that the resistance is much more forceful. It's not weaker because there's less price action here. If we were to see share prices move into 1170 and then you've got a long period of, maybe sideways consolidation in that area or something like that, what that tells you is that is the resistance zone that would be weaker and it's ready to break to the top side. When you see a forceful rejection like this, I mean, it's the polar opposite. It's the exact opposite. What you're seeing then is a very strong resistance zone that has rejected prices and sent share prices finally to lows that are almost 50% lower from where they were previously. So there needs to be some fairly basic conversation about what is actually going on here, and people should refrain from making comments when they don't know what they're doing. And unfortunately, that has been what has happened with a large majority, I would say, of the comments that have been made in the comment section for this stock in particular. It's almost a GameStop type of situation, or AMC, where you see people that just have this sort of blind allegiance for the stock and kind of refuse to listen to reason. So overall, I do think that there is a lot of bullish activity that is present here, even though we're starting to see a bit of a rejection. I would say that this lack of follow through here above 1050 is an area of concern. But if we look at the indicator reading here, we can still see that there is positive momentum on several different time frames here that does support, the general underlying bullish outcome here. So I would expect to see share prices continue to move higher, but as we can see, we're still trading in fairly heavily overbought territory. The stock has seen a lot of price movement to the top side here recently, and stocks don't just move in one direction. I mean, this is another GameStop type of similarity here, just in terms of the psychology of many of the people that seem to be holding this stock. Share prices don't just move in one direction. You want to see pullbacks. You need to see share prices move higher and then sort of pull back, allow some of the shorter term positions to take profits and then possibly re-enter at higher lows and things like that. That's how you form an uptrend, and that's how you build a base. You don't just expect share prices to sort of rocket off of 760 and then just blow through all of these other resistance levels. And we're already starting to see that here. The lack of follow through at 1050 is an indicator of that. You need to see share prices retrace themselves, pull back, and form higher bases with higher support zones. So currently, I wouldn't really remove the bullish bias until I see a break below roughly 963. I think you get a little bit more sideways consolidative at that point. And then I think that a further break below 940 would be a little bit more of an indication of share prices being in a bit more trouble. I would actually flip to bearish if we did see a break below 870. So there is still a series of support zones here that will need to be watched because this stock has moved a lot recently, and there is a possibility here that we could see price movements in two different directions. So here's the current stock market update for SoFi Technologies, stock ticker SOFI. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market, lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.